If you've been wondering what's really going on in the Monmouth County real estate market this fall, you're in the right place. On today's video, I'm going to break down all the numbers behind it from the sales, inventory, mortgage rates, and what even happened with the last Federal Reserve meeting. All of this while still giving you my firsthand account of what's really happening within Monmouth County for buyers and sellers. So if you are someone that's thinking about making a move, buying or selling, this is going to be a perfect video for you to watch and decide whether or not now is the right time. Before we get started though, if it is the first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central New Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on in Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. To start off with the big picture, the median sales price in Monmouth County is currently $703,000, just roughly right around there, which is 5% higher than this time last year to date. It's also a lot higher than the median sales price for the US, which is about $440,000. So that's quite a significant jump. Now that 440 also does vary depending on which website you look at, but that's kind of a ballpark based on a little bit of an average of those. The Northeast is just very different currently for prices in general. So there's different headlines you'll hear about Texas or Florida or maybe North Carolina, places that have a lot of new construction going on, but the demand is starting to tank off a little bit. Whereas the Northeast, especially Monmouth County with the new Netflix compound coming, you have Philadelphia and New York City about an hour away in each direction. It's not slowing down here anytime soon. Moving on to the sales volume, this remains pretty healthy, but we are seeing a little bit of seasonal cooling going on. Year to date, we have a little over 5,300 sales, where this time last year we had about 5,150. So by basically a 3.7% increase. But just counting the month of September versus 2024 for 2025, we actually saw a 1.5% decline in 2025. While I'm not very concerned by that, we head into the fall and the winter markets, things are going to slow down. My only concern is last year that we had the lowest existing home sales in 3 decades, and we're not dramatically higher. We're kind of on the same baseline. We're a little higher, but roughly in that same area. So sales are still on the low end and prices are still rising here in Jersey. It will be a little bit interesting as we get into the mortgage rates in just a second, but as they start to creep down, do we start to see more transactions ramp up as people want to maybe upgrade their homes? Before we head into the mortgage rates, I think we have to talk about the supply because that's pretty much the key driver of prices. And currently in Monmouth County, we have 1,750 listings, which means we have a 2.9% or 2.9 absorption rate. That also just means how many months of supply of homes that we have. And it lets us know how much if we're in a buyer's or a seller's market. Anything less than 6 months, we're in a seller's market. And as you can see, the 2.9 is pretty secure. The days on market has increased from 17 days to 24 days from our last market update back in August. I don't know how much to really look into that though, because you're talking about a summer market versus a fall, where in the summertime, people are trying to move a little bit faster, get in before the school year. So I don't know if that's necessarily due to an increase in inventory or if that's going to be due to just a changing of the market. So that's kind of just something to watch. If inventory continues to grow in the fall and even in the winter, then that's going to start showing us that maybe things are starting to slow down a little bit here in Monmouth County. But for now, I wouldn't really look too much into those numbers, but just wanted to throw that out there. Make sure you're aware. Now let's finally get into those mortgage rates. So currently the 30-year fix is sitting about 6.35% of me making this video, and it's down from the 6.7 to 7% range that was happening during the summertime. So that's a positive and moving in the right direction for buyers. The Federal Reserve also had a policy shift in their last meeting, with the first time they cut rates by 25 basis points or a quarter point. I want to preference what I'm also about to say is mortgage rates follow bonds and not what the Federal Reserve rate does. But there's also going to be quite a bit of a correlation, I would say, between the two, right? So the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the Federal Reserve meeting, you started watching mortgage rates drop because the market was kind of baking it in that this cut was going to be happening. But the day that the rate cut was announced, rates started actually to creep back up a little bit. So they got as far down as about 6.15, 6.2%, but now they're sitting again like 6.3, 6.4, somewhere in that range. So while they didn't dramatically go up, they did tick up a little bit, but we are still lower than the summertime and what we've been for a pretty long time. The most interesting part of the Federal Reserve meeting, at least in my opinion, is the fact that they usually hint at what they're going to do for the next 2 meetings, and we only have 2 left for all of 2025, in late October and in mid-December. So we have an idea of what they're trying to do for the rest of the year, basically, right? And they hinted at more rate cuts, meaning if we got a quarter point rate cut in October and December, theoretically leading up to those meetings, we might start to see mortgage rates drop again, similar to what they just did. So if that was the case, by the end of 2025, we might see them in the high fives, and that could change or shift a lot of things heading into the new year. People want to pick up their home search again, and maybe, just maybe, I don't know if this is the case, when people want to start upgrading their houses again, jumping from a 3.5% rate or low three to a 5.5% isn't as scary as going from 3 all the way up to 7 or even an 8 as high as they got at one point. So it's I'm curious to see where that shift is and what the number has to be for the rates to get people to move a little bit more. And I'm sure after what I just said, most people's question would be, should I buy or sell now or wait? There's a trade-off when you're talking about the lower interest rates, right? So as they drop, more buyers are going to pick their search back up, meaning there's going to be more competition, possibly with that multiple bids, and then price or pressure on the prices to go upward. So that's one possible outcome. The second is if you purchase now, let's just say you're going to be dealing with fewer buyers, less competition, and possibly a little bit of chance to negotiate. Then afterwards, when the rates drop even farther, that's when you can refinance and lower your monthly payments a little bit more too. So whereas there's no perfect moment, or it's rarely a perfect moment for you to move, it has to really be the right moment for you and your situation. Now, I will say also one other thing, just kind of based off what I just gave you as an example. I'm getting a townhome under contract right now over in Red Bank. My client wasn't really thrilled with where the price was at, and we thought, both of us, even myself too, after running the comps, thought it was pretty highly listed. We waited for it to get a price drop, and even then afterwards, there wasn't really enough of people looking at it, and we still got it for another $15,000-$20,000 less than their adjusted price. So when you are looking to sell currently, you have to price competitively, or you're going to really shoot yourself in the foot there. Versus on the buying side of things, since there is a little bit more inventory, you can kind of negotiate a little bit if the seller misses the mark. Now, if you just want my opinion on everything and what I might personally do, I would say you have a little bit more leverage on the buying side of things currently heading into the fall and winter markets, because there might not be as many people looking, like I just said, with some less competition. And someone that's selling during those timeframes probably wants to move their home for a specific reason. So I think it'd probably be better to pay a slightly higher interest rate, beat out the potential competition that's going to be happening at the new year, and then refinance later. I think that would probably be the smartest thing, because there's a good chance you'll then build appreciation of property and equity pretty quickly as things start to get rampant in the springtime again. So it is a little bit easier getting into a home in the fall or winter time than it is going to be in the spring or the summer. On the selling side of things, if you're looking to list, whereas I kind of just counteracted what I just said, the benefit to doing it sooner is the fact that when you are then bidding on a home, you're going to get those same benefits versus when you're selling it. So as long as you list competitively and then you have a little bit less competition going on the buying side of things, it would probably make your transition from home to home and one simple move a lot easier versus maybe having to rent back your house for a little bit period of time to then go and purchase and just make things a little bit more complicated. So in my opinion, I think it's probably better to act a little sooner rather than later going into 2026. And with all that being said, if you are looking to buy or sell in the Monmouth County area, want a little bit more information on the trends I was talking about, or want a free home evaluation because you might be thinking about selling in the future, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is going to be down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. If you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up, and hopefully they help out a bit too. Have a great day.